Good morning, Stampers. It is Tammy with Stamp and Scrap Tammy coming to you with a Facebook Live one day late. So we are Thursday, September 10th today. So welcome all of you. I hope you're all having a wonderful day and thank you so much for tuning in today, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it the replay later. I apologize for being one day late. I had so much going on yesterday with the kids going back to school. I have my son Brody, he went back this morning. And then Allison goes back on Monday, but we had done no school shopping, none, zero. So we did that yesterday and got all the clothes and the school supplies and all of that good stuff. So hold on here one second. I was running I'm always running a couple minutes late, whether it be for one thing or the other. Today I was all ready to go, and right before I started, my computer went to sleep, and then it didn't want to wake back up. It was a little bit tired this morning. So I had to restart my computer. And let me see here. So just give me a second here, but then we'll be all ready to go. Again, I'm still getting used to these this new update on Facebook where it doesn't want me to see things quite as easy as it used to. And so while you're waiting, go ahead and check in, say hello. Oh, looks like some of you are here, so hello. So I do have a prize patrol. So if you read the headline or whatever where I write the description, I posted, I'm going to give away the Pigment Sprinkle Ink. And I think I found another card I used with that. I should grab that. So I think it was on the Sharon show. I showed kind of the neater version of it. And then I showed this, or I didn't show this one, but this is another one that we made. And so today's video, I'm going to share at the end a different set that you would maybe use, or actually the set I'm using today. Maybe one that would work nice with this Pigment Sprinkle Ink. So I don't typically share stuff that is on the clearance rack, but this is still available. I checked this morning. And it is just a great, fun thing to have. I mean, I enjoyed using it, but I use it in kids' classes or if my kids want to do some crafting. This is a really fun product to work with. And it is just so wow. So, and maybe I've said this before, but the last community ed class that I did, the little girls that did it, that we started with that project. Whether that was a good one to start with or not, I'm not sure. But one girl, I bet we hadn't even been there 5 minutes, and she said, oh my goodness, this is the best day of my whole entire life, working with that Pigment Sprinkle Ink. So if you have a little kid that you want to impress, or even a big kid, because I am pretty impressed by it every time I do it, and every time it's a little bit different, and I get pretty excited. So it's definitely something to add to your collection of tools to have and different techniques. So I'm going to share that at the end, just with a real simple project. And I think it was Connie that asked what other set I would use with it. So that's what I'll share with you today. All right, so looks like we're just all set to go. So again, that's going to be our giveaway today. So if you comment, you like, you share, you'll be entered in the drawing. And I have 3 drawing giveaways today to announce, or like prize patrol. So let's call it a prize patrol. That sounds a little more fun. So I have them all ready to go. I just need to package them a little bit better. And I'll be mailing these out on Monday. So if you are a winner and you're watching, you can just send me your address. If I don't already have it and I don't hear from you, I will contact you either over the weekend or Monday to get that, and then I'll get those mailed out first thing next week. Okay, and so I had Allison pick some numbers this morning. So I just went through the comments, not counting the ones that I commented back to some of you. I didn't even get to commenting on all of them. Because we had went away for the weekend. So let's see. So I have for our regular Facebook Live last Wednesday, I have Susan Whalen, number 16. So 16 on the comments. You are the winner, Susan, of that one. And then I did a second video last week on Thursday that I called a Sharon Show, where I just shared some swap cards. And that is number 10, Janine Knipple. I know Janine, but I'm not sure if I'm saying your last name correct, so I hope so. So if you want to go ahead and send me your address, I will get you a nice little prize sent out. And then the prize patrol. So I had posted a couple pictures of us from our vacation. We were at Let me see, where were we? Devil's Tower on the one that I shared in Wyoming. And oh my, if you have not been there, I highly recommend it. I had not been there, and if I was, I think I was like 2. So of course I didn't remember it. But we went hiking around the whole thing, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. There was some people actually climbing it, some like rock climbers. That was pretty cool to watch, pretty intense, but quite exciting. And anyway, so then I asked you guys what you all did, which it sounds like everybody did some pretty good stuff. Some people just relaxed, some people got caught up at home, watched grandkids, so that was pretty cool. And so I have a winner for that, and that is Paula Bilo. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Paula. I apologize if I am saying that completely wrong. But so those 3 are all going to get a prize patrol. Some of this ribbon and some cards, of course, sent to them. I can't send something without a card. And let's see, I think that's all we have to talk about before we get going. I have lots to share today, lots of projects. And as you see, I collect coffee mugs. So I'm drinking out of one of my new coffee mugs that I got on our trip. I could just go on and on and on and talk about how exciting it was to go to South Dakota. People said, South Dakota, really? But oh my, it was so much fun. We stayed in Rapid City and lots and lots of time in the car though, which was fun. We had some good family jokes and things like that that we really stayed entertained while we drove from site to site. Okay, so let's get started here. And so when we start, you're going to kind of wonder, what in the world does this have to do with the pigment sprinkle ink? So the pigment sprinkles I'm going to share towards the end. But what I'm going to do today is going to be pretty cool to see too. Sometimes it's best just to see things come to life. So I've been talking a lot about the Get and Go Starter Kit Special. And that is because it is such a great deal that I don't want anybody that would like to participate to miss out on this. And so these are the sets. I'm going to actually make the cards today that Stampin' Up! Is going to include in all of the starter kit. So I wanted to see them up close. So I printed off some copies of them. So first off, all of the measurements here, I had put them into a sheet like this to see them a little bit easier. These measurements for today's cards, along with pictures in the video, will be shared in this week's weekly email, which is going to go out tomorrow. So if you are not on my email list, go ahead and join now. You can do that at the top of the page, or later on today, there'll be an edited version of the description of this video where you can join the email list. So there'll be a tab where you can click to get all of these measurements. Now some of these, and these are direct from Stampin' Up!, some of these I trimmed down a little bit, but it gives you the gist of how these would be put together. If you want to recreate them your own, maybe you're already a demonstrator, or you're just really like them and want to create but aren't quite ready to take advantage of this great Get and Go promotion right now. Now, it does say join, be a demonstrator. You can be a happy shopper. You don't have to demonstrate one single thing except for maybe demonstrate some wonderful cards to your friends and family that you're going to send to them. So it is all up to you what you do with this opportunity. And so these are the cards that we're going to make today. So from the pictures, I wasn't quite, you can see them, it looks great, but it's always better to see things in person. So that is the projects we're going to do today. I'm going to do one of each, and then I'm going to just brush on talking about that pigment sprinkle ink. And something I will say, well, I'll talk about that when I get there. So again, the Get and Go Starter Kit promotion goes to the end of the month. So we're getting near the halfway point on that. So the sooner you take advantage of it, the sooner you're going to get your fun little goodies. And these are the stamp sets that are included for free, along with 16 card setups, a package of rhinestones. And something I did want to share is, if you are a newer stamper, or maybe you're a seasoned avid stamper, but you are wondering, what would I even put in that kit? I know, most of you are like, yeah, I could fill up $125 pretty quickly. So again, you're going to get all of this and then $125, but you're only going to pay $99, and the shipping is free. So I was packing up today. That's what I didn't talk about. So this week is a little crazy. Got back late Monday night, home 2 days, and then I'm leaving this afternoon after I pick my son up for school to go on a scrapbooking trip. or scrapbooking, I'm probably going to make cards. I'm planning on making up our 12 by 12 fall sampler, where that event is the first Sunday, Monday in October. And so I'll have some pictures to share after this weekend, I hope. All right, so what would you put in the starter kit? Well, you know, if you don't have a huge wish list and or like I said, maybe you're an avid crafter, but you want to update some of your supplies, or you just want to get something fun. So this doesn't quite fit in there. So I did some math here this morning, believe it or not. But it wasn't much because there's only 4 things to add up here. And this will come to $124.50. So a great option for your starter kit. There's stamp sets and rhinestones already included. You're going to get paper in that already. But so I thought a paper trimmer. So even if you have a paper trimmer, something about ours that is really nice, there is a scoring edge here. So you can score. Why don't I go ahead and just do that right now for our first card we're going to make. So I can take my scoring, and it'll be scored at 4 1/4. That is a standard there. And so you can do all of your scoring with that. Now, of course, it's nice to have a scoring board too, but if you're starting out, maybe you don't want to have both, or maybe you like to have minimal supplies you don't have a lot of space, so you want to just have a 2-in-1 type product. And then, of course, it has the cutting edge. And ours is just so nice because, like I said, it cuts a nice crisp image where you don't get any fraying on your paper. And then also it folds out, so then you get the where you can go up to 17 inches this way. I don't do that often because I don't cut that large of paper, but you have the option to do that. Or maybe you're, cutting some ribbon and you want to be able to use that as a guide. And then it folds down so nice and compact. So just a nice paper trimmer all around. It is definitely something you have to have if you're going to make cards or scrapbook or any kind of craft, because you have to have something to cut with. And then this I pulled out. This is what got me thinking that I should share this. So my blocks, like these here, they all just get not thrown in a drawer. I have them organized in a drawer when I'm at home. But I have this case that I have set aside for when I want to go and do some stamping, not in my house. So if I'm going to go somewhere, take it to go, I keep these in here. This is a case you can get. It is sold separate at $17. And then all of our clear blocks. You do save 10% when you purchase them all as a bundle. So if you got all of the blocks, this fun case, because of course, us collectors, we like to, half of the, thing is stamping. Well, let's not even say that. Let's say 1/4 is stamping. Nope, not even. 50% is stamping, right? 50% of our craft and hobby is stamping. And be honest, I know this is so true. 25% is collecting. It's just like finding it, looking through the catalog, making your wish list. And then the other 25% is organizing. We love to organize our stuff. And if you're not in that boat, you have not been around crafters very much, because that's half of what we talk about when we get together is how we store our stuff. So this is a great way to store your clear blocks, especially if you ever take them on the go. But for your average stamper, you got everything that you need here. You have one of every single size. And so that combination of supplies I just shared comes to $124.50. So it is just a perfect option. And then you save, of course, on all that shipping. Okay, let me put that away. We got to get started here today. So these are the sets I'm using today. I've already mounted everything that I need on my blocks. The only thing I'm thinking I need to grab is probably some scratch paper to stamp over, because some of it's going to get stamped off a bit. All right, so let's get started. So again, Queen Anne's lace, so much love, rhinestones are free with that Get and Go special. I will set this here. This is our host code, our current host code. If you do plan to make any purchases, anything that you absolutely love here, be sure to use this host code, and it'll be shared in the weekly email as well. And then you'll get 10 free cards if your order is over $50. And let me see, what's the other option? Oh, and then, okay, so let's get started here. I do need to take a look at my pictures. Again, I will share the supply list and the measurements here in this week's weekly email. So I'm not going to go too far into it today because I got a lot to talk about today. Well, I always have a lot to talk about, but I have a lot to show you today. And so I want to get on the move. here. So good morning to those of you that are watching. It looks like quite a few of you. So if you just started tuning in or just started tuning in, here I go with those fun made up words and sentences that make absolutely no sense. If you are just starting to watch or you just, whatever, you just started tuning in, I'm just going to say it how I want to say it. Today's Prize Patrol giveaway is a whole package of the Pigment Sprinkle inks. And I actually don't even have them here yet. The one I'm going to send you. I have my used ones, which I should, they got a little messy from our kids class, but you're going to get a whole package of those. One lucky winner is going to get a whole package of those. So let's get started with our first card. Again, I need to grab a sheet here. Okay. And so I'll just stick that in there for now. And I think I do also need a foam mat, which I have. So I'll have to stick that under there for when I do the stamping on this one. All right, so beautiful Coastal Cabana, my absolute favorite color. And then we have, so all 4 of our cards today, real simple coloring, and you could make these with any color. So what's really great about this, if you make this set of cards, or you get that starter kit Get and Go special and you get these supplies for free, you're gonna have 4 great card layouts as well. So it's not just the cards you're making. You can save one and use that as a guide for future stamping. And then you have just 4 really simple but also kind of stunning card designs that you can go back to. And you can always add to them, embellish them more, embellish them less, whatever you would choose to do. All right, so we are gonna start, and we're gonna keep this nice and simple. So today's cards, until we get to that pigment sprinkling, and I don't even really think that's all that hard, are definitely some simple stamping cards. And again, if you're looking at these and you're wanting the measurements, I will be sending them out in the weekly email. And so it is the photopolymer, so that is why I did stick that foam mat underneath here. And I'm trying to walk. I'm trying to, let's see, I'm trying to look at your comments a little bit as we go here too. Walk. That's what I'm going to do this afternoon. So I'm going to pick up my son from school, and then I'm going to leave on my girls' weekend. However, it is a stamping weekend too. So if you have any questions or need anything over the weekend, do not hesitate to reach out to me, because I am doing work actually while I'm there. And that's why I can go there. So if you have a question, you can definitely reach out with a email, a text. You can even call me. Now, you know, maybe after 7, 8 o'clock, we are probably going to have some Bloody Marys and some wine and stuff. But, you know, before that, go right ahead and give me a call. All right, so I'm going to line this up as best as I can. And I showed this set last week too, using the Stamparatus, which was really a nice option. You could add that too to your starter kit as well. And if it's not on your wish list or you don't have one yet, I would definitely add it to it. So there we go, nice and bright. I just used Bermuda Bay ink. Again, we're keeping this pretty simple. And then I'm going to take a scrap of the Bermuda Bay and Memento ink. Oh, that's what I should have said. So the paper trimmer, the clear blocks, and a Memento ink. I didn't show the Memento is what comes to the 124. And can you tell what my favorite color is? These blue tones, the Bermuda Bay, the Coastal Cabana, anywhere in there. I've had my nails this color the last few weeks, I think. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Thanks. I did when we were school shopping yesterday. I purchased some other colors of nail polish. I've just started painting my nails regularly, so I didn't have a lot of nail polish. Okay, that's just perfect. And let's go ahead. I do not have a scissors right here. How in the world did that happen? I'm going to have to grab one. All right, my apologies. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut that at a little bit of an angle. Oh, and Molly wants to say hello. I thought I would leave her roaming around today, since we were gone for 4 days. Well, although, you know, she got spoiled like crazy. She went to my husband's mom, husband's mom's house, my mother-in-law's house, let's say that, while we were away. So they get spoiled when they go there. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. And I will, something a little different, rather than putting it right center, I am going to go all the way to this edge. So anyways, yeah, the dog was at grandma's, I guess, while we were away, but she hasn't seen us, so she was kind of missing us. So I didn't want to have her sitting upstairs by herself right now. And then I'm leaving again, so she'll be a little bit sad, I have a feeling. All right, let's take that again. I'm just going to raise up with some dimensionals just the thanks little label that I made. So you can see I'm not going to put it quite to the edge. So this color combo, just a nice, easy, simple stamping card. No die cutting on this. And you have a lovely thank you card. Now I am going to open up this brand new thing of rhinestones. I love getting a new thing of rhinestones. That's a pretty exciting thing when you get to open a new package. I probably have some half done ones, but I'm going to go ahead and use the new ones. All right, and then I'm going to put 3 of these on here. I'll go with 3 different sizes because that is what is on my sheet. And there we have a nice, lovely, simple stamping card. So that is our card number 1. We'll move into card number 2, where I'm going to actually pull in another color of paper, and I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green. I got that Bermuda Bay again, some Coastal Cabana, and Daffodil Delight. Again, if you like to pre-score, you would score that at 4 1/4. And use your bone fold to leave it nice and flat. And then I'm going to line these up. I'm going to put 5 along here. And this is one of the layouts that would be really nice to use different designer series paper. And real nice, simple, quick cards. And I like how they added. So these, again, aren't my designs. These are right from Stampin' Up. These are the ones that are going to be sent in a starter kit right now. But you could certainly just recreate these from today's video, or like I said, I'm going to share pictures of these and the measurements in this week's weekly email. So you would have that. Again, use any color combination that you like. And this is the first time that I have created them. So I don't even have a sample to go off. I'm just going off of the picture. And of course I could spend a little more time lining these up, but I think I can eyeball, it looks like it's about 1/4 inch apart. I can eyeball that pretty good, but there's going to be a label that's going to go over the top of this. So even if it's just a little bit off, and after all, you know, they're handmade cards, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. So that's the base of our card. And then we're going to do a little bit of stamping on this Coastal Cabana piece and adhere it right here. So let's bring back in our foam mat, but I do again want to put a piece of scratch paper here because it's going to go to the bottom a little bit. And I'm going to, again, use the Bermuda Bay. This way I don't have to clean it even in between. If I can find it, you know. Okay, so before when I was talking about the percentage of stamping, I want to say now we better add in some kind of percentage for finding the stuff on our desk that we have lost. And it seems like it doesn't matter. You can have, like, everything in here is very clean right now. I cleaned really well before we left on vacation last week. So when I came home, I would be all organized, and then I knew I was leaving on this weekend. And it's just easier to pack up for a weekend away of crafting when things are cleaned up and decide what you want to bring. So even though if you can have the cleanest space, and it doesn't matter, 2 minutes into a project and you have misplaced something, I just know it. There we are. So again, I just did Bermuda Bay. I am going to use the Memento to do my sentiment, and on the sample given from Stampin' Up, I'm not sure in that picture if it is, but I think they might have just done Bermuda Bay, but I want mine to stand out a little bit more, so I am going to use Memento. So all of these cards just have 2 ink colors, and what did I say? 3 different colors of paper, and then of course the Whisper White on there. And this says, celebrating all the wonderful things about you. So this definitely could be a birthday card. You could just send it as a just because card, you know, and at this point in how things have been going this year, you could send this to anybody just to brighten their day. It'd be a nice random act of kindness card. And so this card is just about done as well. So you see how quickly these cards go together. And you wouldn't have to put these on with dimensionals if you didn't have any, but I have some here, so I'm going to do that. And then we'll add some rhinestones, and that'll finish off our second card. Again, you'll see just how quick these go together. And I just did the cutting for these this morning as well. So I dropped my son off at school. Let's see, what time was that? Oh my, so we have him marked as a walker because we don't live too far from school. But I usually drop him off in the morning. But since he's a walker, he has to go, or that's how we have him signed up. He has to go in a certain door, and then people that get dropped off go in another door. And, I got 2. And I bet the line to drop off, if you were like, that's how you're marked as getting dropped off. I think we should do 5 on this card. Let's do over here. And I bet that it was like a mile long. So I was back home by 8 o'clock, and then I did a few other things. Then I came down here about 9. So just like a half an hour, 45 minutes before I had to get, really started here is when I cut for all of these cards and plan for them. And I have supplies cut now for quite a few. And so that is our second card. And now we're going to move in. I have to flip to my next card design because I am looking at the pictures here that I have. And this one is really simple. And I'm going to show it to you actually 2 ways. So it'll be kind of fun to see 2 different ways here that you can do this card. So by the end of this, we're going to actually have 5 cards. And again, we'll fold this in half. You would score it 4 1/4. I'm going to just look over around the corner here. Okay. Well, the dog has a nice bed and blanket, but she's deciding to lay on the hard floor. So I guess whatever works, but she's whining a little bit. It's like, well, go sit on your soft, cozy bed. Anyways. All right, here we are. And then, I didn't cut 2 pieces, which I can do that as we go. So I will do the very simple one first. Very similar to that other card. But I'm only going to put 4. So I got Coastal Cabana. And then I'm putting Bermuda Bay over the top. See how nice those 2 colors complement each other. And we're going to put 4 of them here. Looks like I went over a little. I bet I can, wonder if I can move this. I can. So I used the regular Stampin' Seal, so that gives you a little bit of wiggle room. The plus would probably be too sticky to pull off like this. It would maybe tear your paper. But it looks like this, the regular Stampin' Seal is going to give me a little flexibility there. Good to know that. I had never tried it, but now I did. All right. So now I am moving into the second. So that the first two cards were from the Queen Anne's Lace. Now I'm moving into the So Much Love stamp set, which I have not even inked up yet. And it looks like, oh, I don't even need those yet. Stepping ahead. Jumping ahead. That's what I want to say. I'm jumping ahead of myself. And so I have this little label. These are on the red rubber, so I don't really need to put it on a foam mat to stamp. We're just good to go right on there. And that is because it already has the foam there. So if you're wondering why, this has foam, so it gives it a little bit of give already. The photopolymer doesn't have that. So that's why we use that foam mat. And tap that off of there. I used Bermuda Bay on that. If you wanted, you could definitely use the Memento Black. And then we'll adhere this with some dimensionals and add some rhinestones. So an easy way just to step these up could be to just add some ribbon. You could add some designer series paper in the background. But I really like the simplicity sometimes of doing cards like this. And we'll put a couple on the bottom, like so. Real nice and easy. You could do these on note cards. But now on this one, I thought to show a way to step it up just a little bit more as well. So we have our base. And then I have a piece of I believe it's just a 3x4 sheet of paper. And I need to grab the scratch paper. And now I'm going to fold it in half because I want to fit it in here a little easier. And what I'm going to do is with Bermuda Bay ink, I'm going to ink my stamp. And stamp this. You'll see where I'm going with this in just a second here. Oh, this is really, really pretty. So I'm just thinking I am going to need a cleaner at the end here. Okay, let's put just a few more because I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out. So again, this is stamping where I have not prepared a single thing. So this is the first time I am creating this card. And so what I've got here is I just did it all on the one sheet. So now I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And these were all 1 inch. So I am going to now, and I'm going to keep them in order. Hoping you can see that. And I need 4 of them. So you can see how that's going together. And I'm going to end up with one little scrap here, but that's okay. And so you'll see how lovely that is. If I put them together, they would all line up. And we're going to do the same exact design as we did on that first card. And something, if I have one here, oh, I know where I put it. I have a new spot for my Wink of Stella. So this is the only card I'm going to show you that I would call this now a stepped up version from that first one. It just adds a little bit more. And if you really wanted to add a little bit more to this one, something you could do is add some Wink of Stella on a little bit of the flower, and it'll give it just a little sparkle.
Or maybe you do the leaves. It would be up to you. And just for time's sake, I'm not going to do it all. Well, maybe I will. Why not? It's fun. I have nowhere to go till after school gets out today. Which is just so strange having the kids back in school. So I hope it all goes well for them. My son was pretty excited. So I don't know if you have kids or grandkids or friends that are heading that way, but I hope everybody has a wonderful year. Again, it's nice to have a little bit of normal back, even with the precautions. And I had to have a talk with Brody to not get too close to his friends and do all that business. And you know, I think the kids get it. I think they are all so excited to get back to school that there's going to be, it's not going to be much trouble. All right, so look at that. So that adds just a little bit of flair to that. And now we need to do some stamping on here. And I forgot to pre-cut a second one. So I don't have a second one cut. So I will do that. And I know it was just it was just another scrap, a 1 inch by 2. So then to get the background, what I'll do is do 2 1/4. And again, I just had some Daffodil Delight scraps and that's all I'm using. And then I'm going to do a 1 1/4 so that I get a nice layering behind my label. I am really, really liking how that comes together. That is great. And I'm going to just do the same sentiment, and it says, "You made my day." And we'll adhere that just the same as we did on the last card. And then I'll bring them in to show the difference between the two. So both very nice. Just depends on if you want to step it up a little bit, or maybe you want to have more of a, this would be a great way to show the same exact, I mean, absolutely exact products. And one looks a little more feminine, obviously the one with the flowers. And then the other one can be a more masculine card without the flowers. And let's see, I need those. Again, I lost my rhinestones. This is, I should like start keeping track of how many things I lose during a video. This is like the second or third, and they have to be here. I didn't go anywhere. Okay, I guess we'll just go with that. They'll show up here. So here's the difference between the two. Same exact measurements, everything the same, only here I added the stamping and separated them out. And so we have one more card to do here before I will move in and show you a little bit of fun with that. I keep wanting to say Brush-O, because if you look on the clearance rack, that's what I was going to talk about. There is Brush-O, which is pretty much the same thing, only those are much more vibrant. So if you want a deep red, deep colors like green and things like that, the Brush-O would be what you'd want to get. But they both do about the same exact thing. It's just different colors. All right, and so again, we have those beautiful colors. And I got everything I need now. And so I'll probably just put all the leftover pieces that I cut in a bag to bring with me, or a little tote to bring with me today, and use these for a nice quick project. Sometimes when I'm scrapbooking, I want to do a bunch of projects. Maybe it's late and I'm not quite ready to go to bed, you know, because sometimes those things we stay up kind of late. If you've been to one, you know how that goes. But sometimes you just don't want to come up with a new idea and it's later, but you don't want to go to bed. So maybe I will bring these for that. And so this one, I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm not going to cut it apart. And there are 2 size flowers, but for the sake, since I'm going to use that pigment sprinkle ink, I'm going to just save this stamp and not even, then I don't have to clean anything. And so you can do as much or little of this as you would like. And looks like I'll put one more with the leaves right there. Okay, and so here we go. Let's go with this, and then I'm going to put another scrap of Bermuda Bay behind. And this was the same size strip as from that second card that we did. And let's adhere this. We'll do this with some dimensionals if I can find them. Well, or not. Gosh, I've lost everything. Oh, guess what? The dimensionals are sitting on the desk next to me with my rhinestones. So I found the rhinestones, see, everything shows up eventually. And I'm gonna clip those so there's no waste on the dimensionals. You can always use all of the sides once you've run out of the middle part. And let's go ahead and peel those off. And then we'll do one more sentiment. And the cards I'm gonna make next with the pigment sprinklings, I have not planned. So I really, bear with me on that. So I have no idea how they're gonna turn out. I just thought today would be a great day to show it. And I checked this morning if they were still available, and they are. But even if they're not, remember that is today's giveaway for participating in the video. And goodness, the dog is just going crazy today. And I'm gonna use another stamp, and I'm gonna use Memento that says here for you. All of these cards would be great for all different kinds of occasions. And there is a tool for this here. Let me see if I can show it. So I'm going to show it to you both ways quickly. And so this is a nice tool to have. It is, I can't remember the name of it. So you stick it in. There you go. And you can look from the back to get a more centered look. And you can do it as many times as you'd like. Okay. So that's a great way to do it, although I'd have to go even more. Or, just so I can use the same one, I'm going to show you this way. You can, so just say that's all the first time, and then you just snip in the middle, and then snip this way, and then you get the nice flag as well. So two ways to do it. Sometimes it's faster and easier to do it this way. If you want to have a pretty, exact, precise flag. And you can go from, you can go pretty small up to, I think it's like a 2-inch. So if you're making labels too, you could use that. And let's move this out of the way. So actually, I don't think we need this ink anymore. So let's just move it so I don't make a mess of it. And I can move this out of the way. And I will just adhere this here. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one. That one is gone. I went to get that one. That one was empty from last week. So I haven't used the plus, I guess, since last Thursday. Oh, goodness. I got to see what she's doing. I'll be right back. Molly, come on. Yeah, Allison. Can you grab Molly, please? Okay, just call for her. She'll go. Okay, gosh, I guess next week I'll have to put Molly away during this. She was just, yes, I just saw Tessie said, puppy wants some love. She sure does. She's like, why aren't you talking to me? And who are you talking to? I do wonder if she's wondering who the heck I'm talking to when I do these videos. All right. Okay, as long as I was there, I thought I would take a sip of coffee. All right, so then again, add some of these rhinestones. And I'll have to go back now and add some to that last card when I could not find them. So I like to do 3 and 2. So I always work in odd numbers, if you'll notice that. So 3, 5, 7. I guess I don't usually put 7 rhinestones on a card. Look at that. I am loving this stepped up version of this card. This is one after I do something like that, I could just look at this one all day long. That is really fun. Okay, so let's look at those. Let's get another look at those. And really with that wink of Stella. And somebody shared with me, my friend Gail, she said she was referring to my made up words, and she was stamping with her granddaughter yesterday. And I'm going to have to verify with her how to say it. The spelling to me seems sparkless. So her granddaughter was calling the wink of Stella sparkless. So she was making sparkless cards. Okay. here we go. So here are the cards. Aren't those great? Such simple stamping cards, but so elegant, especially this one. And then even this one too, you could add some Wink of Stella to that too. So I'll bring them in one more time right at the end. But right now I have got to show, especially for those who did not see the Pigment Sparkle ink when we've used it in the past. You need to see this because it's really fun. And the clearance rack is while supplies last. So if you really like this, maybe think about getting it sooner rather than later because it is while supplies last. So again, I have not made this before. So we're just going to see how it goes. I think I'll go up here and then I can put a tag here. So I'm going to make them into note cards is what I'm going to do. So I have a note card here, and then I have a 3x4 sheet of our watercolor paper. Probably do a couple of them because it is just that fun. And I am going to do some embossing to get it started. If I can find it. And here it is. So I'm going to do a 2 different one. I'm going to do 2 today. And then I better get going. And you guys are probably like, we got to get going here, lady. And this just keeps going on and on. I could just sit and like talk and stamp with you all like all day long. I know that seems that would be a little weird, but I really could. I love stamping. And I actually, I didn't get a chance to do much stamping today. I had paperwork to do when I got back from vacation and then all that shopping yesterday. So I haven't had much time, so I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to kind of off-center that a little bit, put it in the corner, and pull that up. Let's see. I hope it worked. It's kind of hard to see on the watercolor paper. I have some extras, so if it didn't. So I'm going to take our silver. Oh, it sure did. And then I'm just going to sprinkle that over there using my nice coffee filter idea that I always have to give credit where credit's due. Victoria told me about that. I think I said, I know there is fancier things for it, but I used to use like a paper plate, but I don't have any. And I don't know why I always had them before, but I haven't had any for a while. So I've been using the coffee filters and it's so easy to do. And then it's really easy to get it back into the container. So you don't really have to worry about how much you're using. You can be as generous as you would like. And here we go. We'll do this one. And I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to do this one in white just to see. I thought it would be fun to use 2 different embossing powders. So we have a white and I use silver. You could also use gold, or let me look what other one we have. So there's gold, clear, silver, and white. And this is a fun technique to do too. I don't know, can you see that? If you wanted to just leave it like this and then put a tag without any coloring, it also gives it a nice look. Okay, and then I am going to get our heat tool. And I'll hold it in place. And heat embossing, if you haven't done it, real simple to do. You use the Versa, it's called Versa Watermark Stamp Pad. And then the powder, that's all you gotta do. And then you heat it up, and I'll show it close up when it's done. And it's quite magical when it starts to change. And then it gets a nice glossy look. I had gone my whole crafting, I don't know if would it be a career? My whole crafting hobby, I don't know, for a long time before I heat embossed. I had no idea what those powders were. Like, you see them at the store or, in the catalogs. And I did not have a clue what they did until I got a card with some on that I just had to recreate. And then I decided to watch a video and figured it out. So if you have not heat embossed, I really highly recommend trying it out. It's really fun. Okay, so stunning just like that. You could add a label and leave it just like that. But you know what? Let's do this so that it's ready when we get there. I think, yeah, why not? I'm gonna just do the yellow. Why not, right? Okay, and let's do, I wanna do thanks because it seems like I need thank you cards the most. And I'm going to be mounting these on note cards. And so that seems to be probably the best thing to do for a note card. I like to use note cards for thank yous. The script on this is really pretty too. And that's from the Queen Anne's. All right, so let's snip those, or, well, I don't know where my paper trimmer is, so we'll just do that. I like to do that sometimes too. My real fancy technique, you just tear the end off when you want it smaller. And now we'll go with, let's get crazy here. Here, I'm gonna bring this back out. And I did actually, so the outside of my containers got a little crazy. So when I did these with the kids class, I do recommend if you do them with kids that you kind of keep an eye on how things are going because it can get out of hand in a hurry. So I'm putting a plastic glove on because I don't want my hands all full of this today since I am going to be leaving here. But they got a little messy on me. And so here we go. So I'm going to just dab just a little. And that is, I'll use Daffodil Delight. Of course, I need to do that because I did just do my, and I'm not doing anything fancy on these. I could bring in a, I'm just trying to put as little bit as possible on there. And I'll go with the Granny Apple. So perfect how these colors worked out. Oh, that one looks like it was a little bit, let me move that out of there. And so something I could do if I wanted to be really neat, I could put a little bit of this ink into a cup and then use a blender pen to adhere it, but I'm not going to do that. Not today. All right, so now let's go ahead and just use some spray here. And I will, let's see here, just so it stays in place. And I will just get that wet. I should have practiced a little bit with that. I think I actually still have some sparkle in here. I do. I grabbed the wrong one. So this has in, whoops. Oh, well. I should see if I could find what that is. Hold on one second here. I always forget you should spray it a couple times before you start. And so I'm going from kind of far away here. So that's going to mix my colors in. And now if you want a little more, you can, after it's wet, so you can do this one of two ways. You can put it on after it's wet, or you can put it on before. And I should have maybe grabbed a paper towel. So you see how those colors mix? So you can see why kids really have a fun time with this. And I kind of got it everywhere. Let me grab a paper towel here. Okay, so I'm going to just take a little bit of this water off just so that I can put it onto my card. You could just leave it sit and dry. You see how all those colors mix together? And I should have had, see, I have that sparkle that, let me see if I have it here just so I can show you what it's called. This stuff here. So you'd put this in with a little rubbing alcohol. So that actually wasn't even water. It was rubbing alcohol and a dab of this stuff. And then you get that sparkle too. So this, I kind of got two techniques going. So this one is really pretty. So I was wondering, this isn't smelling like plain water. So it was rubbing alcohol in this stuff, and then that you get that nice glimmer look. But plain water works fine too. And then let's go ahead and move this out of the way. I'll toss that now that I got it all dirty. And even with plastic gloves, I managed to get a little bit dirty. And so I have 2 note cards here. And here, I'm gonna try to stay somewhat neat. So normally I would leave these dry for a little while before adhering them, but I wanna really finish off at least one of these cards to share with you before we wind down for the day and get about our weekend. On Thursday already, so kind of strange. I have 2 weekends in a row where I'm gonna be gone. Oop. Okay, I guess you do need to let that dry. It's not gonna stick. I should have known that. Well, I have a couple spots here where it's not wet, so we'll be able to. So you would need to leave this dry before you could completely finish off your card. But you can definitely see where kids would love to do this. And then let's add our sentiment. Again, I used all of those little edges of my dimensionals. And then we add that on there and a nice simple thank you card. And we should, I don't know if they'll stick since that's still wet, but we'll certainly try to add a few more rhinestones. And you probably want to let it dry ideally. Oh, it looks like they're gonna stay. So if Connie is watching, Connie, this is the set that I would recommend to use with that. Because our original set, this one here, is no longer available. So I would go with this, let's see what it's called, So Much Love. Look at that, that's cute. That's just a cute, fun card that you can create. Again, maybe I should have used plain water, but that has some sparkle. That's really fun. This one, I'm not sure if I would use that one. I think I like it better with the white. And so you can just play around with that. It's really fun to just play with. So depending on your technique and what you like to do. But it's a fun thing, like I said, to work with kids. And let's bring in the cards from today. And that is the Pigment Sprinkle Inks, if you'd like to give that a try. It's really fun to make just some plain backgrounds too. And again, here's the first one, but look at this stepped up one. Isn't that cool? All right, again, be sure to participate in today's video so that you have a chance to win a whole set of the Pigment Sprinkle Inks. I know it was definitely a fan favorite when we used it the last time, and then it retired, but now it's on our clearance rack. So I will just take a glance here. All right, so it looks like we're good to go here. Everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. Do not hesitate to reach out to me if you need anything over the weekend. And I will plan to be back with a Facebook Live. Let me look at the date here. It is going to be Wednesday, September 16th. We'll be back at 11 a.m. Also, you know, I should add, do have a couple really exciting things going on next week. So on Tuesday the 15th, if you're local and you're comfortable, I have a traditional card class. The sign up will be available in the weekly email. And that is throughout the day. I have times, I believe, starting at 9 in the morning through the whole weekend, or the whole weekend. Through the whole week, no, I'm just kidding. So it'll be throughout the day. So up until I think the last time I end at 7 o'clock. So there's times to sign up in between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. I only allow 4 people per time. And you can also contact me directly to sign up for a time slot if you are more comfortable with that. And then we'll have the Facebook Live on Wednesday. And then Friday and Saturday, very exciting if you're local. I have my annual, this will be our 4th annual Craft Supply Garage Sale. We have 19 consigners bringing their wonderful supplies that they are ready to part with and pass along to you so that they can get some new fun things. And so that is also posted. You'll see it on Facebook here. It's already out there, but I'll be sharing it a whole bunch more this next week, along with some videos probably next Thursday night or Friday morning before the sale starts to show you what is all there. And same, I'll be sharing pictures and all kinds of fun things. Let's see. So yeah, I think that's all we have for now. I'm seeing one Okay, so Tessie asked, can you use water with the shimmer or only alcohol? I am not actually sure. I was just told to do it with the rubbing alcohol, and that's how I've always done it. I think if you're using the watercolor paper, you could probably use it with water too, but I guess I was just told to do it that way, so that's how I've done it. I've never tried it with water, so I'm not 100% sure on that answer. I'm not, maybe one of the other avid crafters watching could answer that. Or I can try to look it up for you. But I'm not 100%. Like I said, I've only used the rubbing alcohol. But could certainly give it a try. So I think that's it. So garage sale next weekend, a live class on Tuesday if you're interested. Otherwise, we'll be back here next Wednesday. I really appreciate all of you. And thank you so much for watching and taking time out of your day today to take a look at what we have created. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.